In 1992, a Washington Post reporter arrived at a pristine luxury resort in West Virginia to ask a question that seemed like a conspiracy theory. Was this elite retreat hiding a secret doomsday bunker? The resort's historian initially denied the claims, but the physical evidence was undeniable. Behind the floral wallpaper sat a 25-ton concrete and steel blast door, opening into a clandestine military complex. This project was a product of the late 1950s, an era defined by a visceral fear of nuclear annihilation. In classrooms across the country, duck and cover drills were a daily reminder that the end of the world was a distinct possibility. Ordinary Americans responded to this threat by burying corrugated metal shelters in their backyards, packing them with enough canned rations and water to survive the immediate aftermath of a strike. While citizens focused on individual survival, the U.S. government faced a different logistical requirement: constructing a subterranean metropolis capable of housing all 535 members of the U.S. Congress. This was continuity of government, a classified plan to ensure the leadership survived a first strike by building a network of invincible command centers across the country. While sites like Cheyenne Mountain were built for military command and FEMA handled civilian leadership, the government still needed a massive, secret location to relocate the entire legislative branch. The challenge was to build this city without alerting Soviet intelligence or the American public. Any sign of a massive excavation at a sensitive site would have immediately compromised the plan. Hiding a massive legislative relocation site in plain sight, away from the eyes of Soviet satellites and the curious public, was the most demanding logistical challenge of the era. The government chose the Greenbrier Resort because it was geographically isolated, frequently visited by the political elite, and within a 4-hour drive of Washington, D.C. In 1958, the hotel broke ground on a guest-facing West Virginia wing. This mundane construction project served as the perfect cover for Project Greek Island. Hidden beneath the new hotel wing was a sprawling 112,000-square-foot facility buried 720 feet underground. The interior was designed to sustain 1,100 people at once. It contained 18 dormitories and a 400-seat cafeteria to keep the House and Senate fed and housed. The bunker contained auditoriums for both chambers of Congress to pass legislation, a 12-bed medical clinic, and a trash incinerator designed to double as a crematorium in the event of a fatality. Engineering this subterranean city was a technical feat, but the actual triumph was keeping the site active and staffed for 30 years without its secret being exposed. To manage the site's communications, the government created a dummy company called Forsyth Associates. On paper, these men were audio-visual technicians hired to fix the hotel's televisions. This appliance repair story allowed the government to import advanced communications technology directly into the hotel without raising any suspicion from guests or competitors. Outside the hotel, the town of White Sulphur Springs formed a different kind of barrier. Locals noticed the 110 urinals, the constant concrete shipments, and military guards patrolling the resort. But the community relied on the Greenbrier for their livelihoods. Out of a combination of deep loyalty and economic necessity, the townspeople chose to never discuss these anomalies with outsiders. This collective silence allowed the facility to remain in a constant state of readiness. For 3 decades, the bunker was quietly updated and maintained, even as the global stakes of the Cold War continued to rise. The discretion of the small West Virginia town successfully protected the U.S. government's most sensitive doomsday asset for over 30 years. The secret finally collapsed in 1992. Journalist Ted Gupp published a massive exposé in the Washington Post, revealing the bunker's location and purpose to the world. In White Sulphur Springs, the reaction was one of betrayal. The townspeople took pride in their silence, and many saw the unmasking as an act of hostility against their community. Nationally, the response was one of outrage. Citizens discovered that while they had been left to fend for themselves, the government had spent millions on a fortified city exclusively for politicians. Because the facility's only true defense was its anonymity, the public exposure rendered it useless. The government immediately decommissioned the Greenbrier site. Today, the Greenbrier bunker is a museum, a relic of a past nuclear era, but the underlying mission of survival has evolved and moved elsewhere. Modern continuity of government sites, like Cheyenne Mountain, remain active. These facilities continue to operate beneath 2,500 feet of solid granite. These centers are engineered to withstand modern threats. The buildings sit on 1,311 heavy steel coils designed to absorb seismic shock, while naval-grade steel walls deflect the energy from an electromagnetic pulse attack. The surveillance mission now covers a broad spectrum of modern threats. Personnel monitor live feeds to coordinate responses to global cyber attacks and track unauthorized incursions into domestic airspace. The monitoring systems are now tuned to track ballistic missile launches in real time, mapping a projectile's trajectory the instant an engine ignites overseas. The Greenbrier secret is out, but beneath the surface, a fortified network of doomsday insurance policies continues to stand watch over the country.